Welcome friends to a new video. Today we're gonna discuss my favorite books of 2025 and I'm very excited about it. In 2025 I've read 80 books. 17 of those books I gave 5 stars and 23 of those books I gave 4 stars. And today we're gonna talk about the 9 books that are my absolute favorite of the year. I read mostly horror or middle grade. So not surprisingly, most of these books fall in that category, except one that is a retelling. Let's start with middle grade. For my favorite middle grade book of the year absolutely has to be Witch Park. I read both Witch Park as well as the sequel Witch Light in 2025. I love them both so much. This is my favorite middle grade of the year. Without a doubt. Witch Park is about Eglantine, and Eglantine has a disability where she only has 1.5 arm. And that doesn't really hold her back, except for that people think it holds her back. And they assume that. However, Eglantine lives with her father in a magical house and a wyvern butler. And it is absolutely adorable. However, the house is in danger. Eglantine needs to find her own magic. And it is quite an adventure to get there. Absolutely adored it. The house is amazing. The magic system in this is great. Really interesting. I love the characters in this, the butler, the friends you meet along the way. Yeah, I would highly recommend it. Both were given 5 stars. Yeah, if you only pick up one middle grade this year, please let it be Witch Park. And then another, I believe it is middle grade, is Summer in Orcas by T. Kingfisher. This is specifically nice that it came in as one of the favorite books of this year, because Rosie gifted me this book. And I love it when a gifted book makes it to book of the year. This is a Baba Yaga retelling. But not really. You do see Baba Yaga. And there are definitely magical walking houses. But that is the extent of it. Further than that, we follow Summer, an 11-year-old girl who goes on an adventure that she is sent to by Baba Yaga. But it is lovely. This is a very typical portal fantasy where a girl goes to a magical land where creatures can talk. It is a true adventure style. They have to find stuff and, you know, make friends on the way, and it is really nice. It is very cozy and wholesome. Obviously, T. Kingfisher had to be in this list. And I have read another T. Kingfisher, and it is the retelling one. It's Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. This is a Snow White retelling. I absolutely love this book. This is about healer Anya, and she calls herself a healer because that is respected. But more so she has been given that title because she saved many lives, but that is because she's actually a poison master. She knows a lot about poison, but that is very you don't see that about a woman, and that is not a good thing to know as a woman. So she's a healer that, you know, happens to know a lot and she knows a lot about how to, you know, detox from poisons. That's it. And one day the men of the king come, and she needs to come to the kingdom to save the prince. It is a very different take on Snow White. I absolutely loved it. It was very well done, but mostly I love healer Anya. She has a particular mindset, particular way she sees the world that is very relatable to me. I absolutely love healer Anya. She's very sarcastic. She has dark humor. It was hilarious to me. It's something like, this is what Anya says. I had success in pushing off my fears until later. Now, later has arrived. And I wasn't somehow magically equipped to deal with it. Poor planning on my part, clearly. That is my humor. I love it. If you love stuff like that, you're gonna love Hemlock and Silver. And then one other that is sort of, I think it technically falls in a horror category, but it is more spooky than actually creepy. And you might be able to consider it as a retelling as well, but it's Mirror Moon, The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is a manga, or a graphic novel. And it is super duper cute. I was hoping they had more stories of Jack and Sally, but unfortunately they don't. I would really like to read more. It was a very cute story of Halloween Town and a mirror that went absolutely bonkers. This is how the art looks. Very pretty. So yeah, highly enjoyed it. If you're a Nightmare Before Christmas fan and you haven't read this one, it is worth it. Then I have 2 horrors on the list. One is Blood on Your Tongue by Johanna van Veen. Johanna van Veen is a new author to me. I have both read Blood on Her Tongue and My Darling Dreadful Thing this year by her. I definitely prefer Blood on Her Tongue. But other people preferred My Darling Dreadful Thing. So I think it depends on your preference. If you like vampire-esque creatures more, or supernatural horror. If you like the creature stuff and the gothic horror vibes, definitely go for Blood on Your Tongue. That's why I love this one so much more. I felt the dark gothic horror vibes are way more prevalent here. This is set in a dark, gloomy mansion. This is a Dracula retelling, or it takes a lot of inspiration from Dracula. It is also about 2 sisters. One of them is sick. The other one is coming to visit because the sister is ill. There are letters in here, which is also something Dracula is very famous for. But this also has Camilla vibes. And I prefer Camilla over Dracula, so I really enjoyed that. And then the twist on the creature is really, really interesting. I've never seen it before. So I really enjoyed that. But gothic vibe all around, vampire vibes, absolutely love it. And then the other one is What Big Teeth by Rosa Zabo. I love this because this is Addams Family vibes all over. This is about a very weird family in a mansion. They're kooky, they're creepy, and some of them are monsters. And that is so Addams Family coded. I absolutely loved it. This was chaos and love all in one. The family is very chaotic. To the outside world, they do look very creepy and weird and all the stuff. But they're actually very loving to each other, which is obviously the trait of the Addams Family. So that is why it's reminded me so much of it. And there are a lot of mysteries in the family. We don't know exactly what kind of creatures there are in the family at first, and who is what. Are they all creatures or are they humans? It is a very good book. If you like the Addams Family, I would highly recommend reading this. And then there are 2 books that I unfortunately only have on audiobook that definitely made the cut. One is another middle grade, and it's Vanya and the Wild Hunt by Sangi Mandana. I love this one. This one is about Vanya, and she finds out that her mom has sort of a magical secret. And she found this out in a very dangerous way. And it, opens up a whole lot. Vanya meets her the family that she didn't know, and she also goes to the different magical place to keep her safe. What I loved about this is that Vanya has ADHD, and the representation of the ADHD is really, really well done. So for that alone, I would recommend Vanya and the Wild Hunt, but it is also very good fantasy middle grade. And the other one is The Vampire Knitting Club by Nancy Warren. Specifically the first. This is probably right book at the right time. At the right moment kind of thing. I don't think this book is perfectly written. I don't think this book is perfect at all, but I gave it 5 stars and I absolutely loved it. I had a blast with it. This book gave me everything I needed at that moment. It is very easy to read. And it is very cozy and wholesome. We follow a woman that goes to her grandma, and when she arrives at the grandma, she finds out that her grandma has died. And apparently the knitting shop has been left to her. So she is thrown in this knitting shop that she has to run now without knowing anything about it. And she's trying to manage that while finding out that there is a layer of vampires underneath the shop. It is so cute. It is so wholesome. I absolutely loved it. It was just the easy, cozy comfort I needed. I have read multiple books since, and there has only been 1 3 stars and the rest were all 4 or 5 stars. So it is a good series. I will read the whole series, but most people didn't give it 5 stars when we read it in the book club, which I can get. But for me, this was the right book at the right time. And for that, it makes the favorite book of the year. But that's it. That were all my favorite books of this year. Please in the comments let me know what your favorite books were. I might need some more recommendations for this year. And I hope to see you soon. If you like this video, please like, subscribe if you want to see more games from me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!